see how you connect from the building to go in the parking lot and look back towards the bar, right there where that red car is. See? So the idea is that no matter where you're at in this development, that bar is the focal point, right? That everything revolves around that, whether it's the existing or the new or whatever, right? And actually here, that, you know, obviously you have to understand it's 3D, right? So they have to build these things fairly quickly. So right now it actually shows a curve. Our intention is that there is no curve. So this is all one elevation from one side to the other. It's all one. It feels like a big plaza that you're driving through, right? So we, you know, just again, we've been playing around with some decorative metal work to kind of enhance the facade without spending a tremendous amount of money, because the focal point here is not the big restaurants. That's going to drive the traffic. The big guys are going to drive traffic, but then the rest of it gets all tied in. And, you know, we have our outdoor seating. We've talked about having kind of nano doors or operable doors to allow you know the customers to go in, you know, to extend outward the outdoor seating. Obviously, we'd have to, we've discussed the opportunity of, do we close this thing at night? Does it stay open from a security standpoint? Is it easier just to provide security than to start to try to gate this thing at night? So there's some technical stuff that we have to address, but for the most part,
that was one of my concerns. Okay, like I love it, but how do we lock this down? You know, like, and then he was like, you know what, overnight security. I'm like, you know what, I guess you're right. You know, that's what's going to come down to, and that's part of the camps. You know, those are all things we have to calculate. What the camp numbers are, and Arthur, you know better, obviously, with your from insurance, taxes, and everything else. So we just calculate that.
On my behalf, there's nothing on this schematic or design that isn't accounted for. Okay, the signage, we've got $45,000 in signage, ample. Now, if we can get it cheaper, great. But we didn't cut any corners to try and make this more palatable or equitable, right? We put realistic numbers that I think I can do. I have a welder that works almost exclusively with me, because one of the things that I do as a GC, I started out as a shell contractor. I still do shells. I still do shells for bigger companies. I do it for Cuesta Construction. I do it for Kaufman Lynn. I do it for Campus Construction. So I have a staff that most GCs don't have, right? The GCs are usually have project managers, superintendents, and then everything else is either I gotta call labor finders or I gotta sub it out to my shell guy or stuff. So I have 30 guys available to me at any point that, hey, look, we got a truck of brick that arrived to the site and the forklift broke, so send a crew and we're gonna load it by hand. Yeah, obviously, not the preferred method, but all the work that goes in here, like the concrete work, basically that's all being composed in-house, because all these structures, all these containers are gonna require a concrete base. Probably a little bit bigger and a foot and a half deep because of uplift, because of settlement and stuff like that, including the bar structure. All these structures that you're seeing are going to involve structural elements that we've already incorporated in there. Inside the actual containers, what we've done so far, the way that I've estimated is the ones in the rear that are the ones that we're proposing as the restaurant ones, right? The ones that are on the other side of the bar. Those we're leaving hooked up for basic, very basic. They're gonna have sanitary and water, and they're gonna have the bigger amp panels, but inside they're basically gonna be a container, if we can get that passed. The reason being is that because they're restaurants, you don't know how they're gonna line up their kitchen and what their kitchen's gonna be. You know, are they just gonna have panini press, or is there a guy that's gonna have a full-size kitchen? So if we go, the more we build out, the more they gotta take apart. Now, in the other areas on the sides, what I projected there was more like a vanilla box. We're gonna put insulation, drywall, and maybe throw some plywood on the floor, right? It's ready to go. You wanna come in, put down some vinyl tile, you can put in a nice little fan and open up your window, and you're ready to go for business in a week. So, yeah, and in those numbers also is landscaping, irrigation.
We put some for FF&E, right, for furniture, site furniture and stuff like that?
I don't think I included that in the number, because again, it's hard to do, and then I don't wanna keep, stuffing, you get to a point that you got a 2-pound casing and I don't wanna put another pound in there. So, but how much do Domino's tables? I mean, this is something that's gonna be, we're going for that cultural feel, right? So how much does it cost to put some Domino's tables? Like we talked about, oversized rocking chairs. They're all photo ops, they're all Instagrammable moments, and I think they're gonna draw, millennials like clients. That's why I'm excited about the project too, because usually I gotta build the same thing over and over again, right? Whether I'm building I'm building out a restaurant, but it's a retail place, it's the same restaurant. The colors might be different, the tile might be different, but back of house, front of house, same stuff. The retails, commercial, even the residential that I do, you know, this is something that I'm excited about because it allows us to be creative and kind of like, we gotta make this look like a $5 million build out for $1 million, $1.5 million, you know, that's the deal.
That's exactly it.
All right.